So by the end of this video, you're going to know when to use thin paint in your oil paintings and when to use thicker paint. All right, welcome to Paint Coach. If you're new to the channel, my name is Chris Fornatero and I help thousands of students every single month get better at oil painting through my online courses and tutorials. And I also help my students through my paint weeks, which is what this demonstration you're about to see is from. It is pulled directly from my paint week, which actually starts today, September 16th. Now, if you don't know, Paint Week is a free online course that I put out once or twice a year. The lessons are comprised of recorded videos, so you can go through them whenever you like during Paint Week. Currently, we have over 4,000 people signed up. There's also a private Facebook group where you can post your paintings and be part of a great painting community. And the first day of lessons came out today, and they're on things like color, planes, paint thickness, and brushwork. I'll also walk you through a full demonstration of this planed fruit exercise. And that's going to help prep you for tomorrow's lesson, which is actually taking everything that we learned today and applying it to the real version of this still life. And then Wednesday, I'm going to teach you about the big shapes method and walk you through this really fun lily pad landscape. And then Thursday, Friday are off for you to catch up on any lessons you couldn't get to, because on Saturday, I'm going to be doing a live Q&A presentation. I'll be answering your questions on oil painting, critiquing student paintings, and giving the best advice I have on learning to paint. Again, it's completely free, not too late to sign up, depending on when you're watching this video. But the link to do that is in the description of this video. All right, let's jump on into this lesson. All right, now let's talk about paint thickness. I get asked this a lot, especially when it comes to oil paint. And the cool thing about what we're doing here in Paint Week is I decided to not use any medium. I've used medium in the past. If you want to use medium, you can totally use it. If you got some linseed oil or Gamblin solvent-free gel, whatever you like, whatever you're comfortable with. But I just really wanted to do this to show everybody that you don't need medium. And there's a lot of really good painters out there that don't use medium when they paint because they like the consistency of the paint. So we have paint thinner here, and kind of two ways to think about things is thin paint and thick paint. So let's, what color should I use? Let's do green. I don't know, I feel like green's my favorite color. So I'm just gonna mix up a green. See, I'm dipping my paintbrush in the paint thinner, it's getting a little bit of it, and that's really thinning it out here. And so the paint is pretty thin, but it's still actually covered up that pencil line. And you can see it a little bit in there, but if you went even thinner, here I'll draw one more. Box with an X. It's a lot of times I'll see people and they'll thin out their paint really, really thin, or they're using it even when they're using like a lighter color, and they'll paint over it and you'll be able to see. You don't want that. You don't want to be able to see like a line underneath. I mean, yes, that comes in handy when we're blocking out our painting or drawing it in. When you see me drawing it, I'll be using a little bit of burnt sienna and ultramarine blue. And I will be purposely keeping it, very thin, and you can like hear it on the canvas. That's fine when you're blocking it in, or you're like doing like a value underpainting or anything like that. But when it comes time to actually laying down color, don't be afraid of the paint. So you want to be able to completely cover up. I'm going to make this even lighter with some yellow to show you. And you can already hear a difference because you can't really hear that much when I'm mixing it on my palette here. But it should be a good thickness. Not, I'm not like spooning it onto my brush and then, slapping it on there, but it's a good amount. It's not super thin. It's not watercolors here. Now, I get a lot of people asking me like, Chris, when I use thick paint like that, it's hard. Like, how am I going to put paint and colors over top of that without it getting all muddy? Well, one of the main things that's going to help with that is working dark to light, because it's easier to build lighter paint on top of darker paint. If you have something that's like really light and you try and put like a dark over top of it, you're just going to be fighting that light paint a lot. So let me show you with like a simple example. it's got like a little sphere here. And what I like to do is I like to block it out the shadowed side and the light side. So what color we want to make this thing? Let's make it red. So I'm just going to get some red. I'm just going to get a little bit of black to make it dark. In this paint, I have put some paint thinner into it to get it moving. You know, don't be afraid to put paint thinner, because here, I'll show you. If I just got just straight red, see how much it's tugging, and then straight black, you know, it's tugging a good amount, and it's hard to make, you know, I have to really press my brush to make good stroke. And for this, I did want a little bit of paint thinner in there to just get it moving a little bit. And so this would be like the shadowed side. A little cast shadow there. Just gonna make that shadowed side a little bit bigger. And now the light side, I'm gonna make it the darkest light that I can. So I'm actually just gonna branch off from that pile. Just add some more red here. And you see, I just dip like a little bit of my brush into there just to get this going. And see, I just made it too thin. Like this right here, that's a little too thin for what I'm wanting. But just pulling in some more paint. And don't worry if, like, you know, it takes you some time to get paint thickness down. You know, it's just gonna come with practice. Don't get super hung up on it. I feel like as long as you remember the rule of, you know, if you have like a pencil line, it should be able to cover it up. You know, your paint shouldn't be running down, you know, like that, like running down the canvas. All right, so I have a light side and a shadowed side here, but you can see my light side is pretty much the darkest light that I could get away with. That way, I can add some more red, let's say some yellow maybe. I can create, I see I've gotten a little bit thicker with my paint. I've mixed into that same pile, but I put in more paint without putting in more paint thinner. And again, this is something that you'll get a feel for as you paint, but I've made it slightly thicker. And so I can push it a little bit lighter right there. And then maybe I'll put some white, a little bit of yellow, mix in the same pile, just adding more paint. It's getting thicker right there. They come back a little more red. And then even more white. Really not being afraid of that thick paint now. It's getting pretty thick. And you'll notice when I go to put it on, I'm laying on that paint. So you got like a little sphere there. And so working dark to light is going to help you a lot when it comes to layering paint. All right, that's it for this video. I'll see you in the next one. All right, hope you got some value out of this video. Hopefully it makes painting with oils a lot less scary. Again, if you want more lessons like this and be a part of Paint Week, the link to sign up is in the description of this video. I'm Chris Fornatero, here telling you to go get painting.